Viewers all over the world, I greet you. Today I want to talk about successful marriage. Today I want to talk about successful marriage, how your marriage to be successful or best marriage. Proverb 14. The wise woman builds a house, but the foolish pulls it down with her hands. He who walks in uprightness fear the Lord, but he who is perverse is in his way despised. So here I have 16 facts about how to build your marriage to be the best marriage. You know, number one, words destroys marriage. Words destroys marriage. A lot of people, we fight with words. So be very careful with your words, the way you talk, the way you communicate. If you keep your mouth, if you reserve your comments, breathe in, breathe out, which means you take time, you think before you talk. It will help you much. But a lot of people, they don't know how to keep or to shut up their mouth. They always talk. They always talk. Negative words, abundance of words. So keep your mouth. Words destroys marriage. You see people, if you go to people, why do you fight? If you ask them, it's because of mouth. Someone have got a freedom of speech. So touch your mouth. Before you say anything else, think. Words raises anger. Words raises anger. Freedom of speech. Words which defiles. Be very careful. Number 2. Don't apologize and say but. Don't apologize and say but. Excuse or say something but. When you apologize, just say you are sorry and you show that you are sorry with your action. There are people who just say, I'm so sorry. That sorry, you just want it to pass. How do you apologize? If you are wrong, especially men, they are very stubborn. Most of them, they don't apologize, which is bad. If you apologize, don't say but. Just stick to your words. If you say sorry, you are sorry. That's all. So watch your words when you are apologizing also. How do you react when you are apologizing? Do you know how to apologize? There are people who doesn't apologize. If you tell him something or if you tell her something, he will argue. But at the end of the day, you see that this person is changing now. That's spirit of pride. This person is changing. What she was arguing or what he was arguing, you can see he's not doing it anymore. But at a dialogue, he was arguing. So be very careful with the way you apologize. Number 3. Words not to use in communication. I will separate with you. I will leave you. I will divorce you. I'm going to chase you. These words are bad. Don't use this. And you can say your wife is ugly. talking those freedom of speeches, it is difficult for you to retract. It is difficult for you to retract these words and to heal that wound, because words kills. So be very careful with these words. I will separate with you. What are you trying to say to your husband or to your wife? I will leave you. I will divorce you. I'm going to chase you. You are ugly. It's very difficult to restore these words, to retract it. So be very careful. Number 4, great discipline. You must have a great discipline, self-control. Marriage is step by step. Great discipline, which means you must be gentle. Meekness must be in you. Humble yourself. Great discipline, self-control. You must have self-control. Control yourself in your marriage. Control your emotions. Whatever you are doing. Marriage is step by step. No one is 100%. But if you hear your weaknesses, you must accept it. Your weakness. If you keep that, and if you know that marriage is step by step, and when you say step by step, there's a lot of mistakes which are happening. No one is 100% correct. People, they make mistake because of emotions, because of problems which you face. Be strong. Be strong in your marriage. Be strong. Number 5, better to lose the argument and win your marriage. Better to lose the argument and win your marriage. It's better to say I'm wrong. When you see this argument where it is going, it leads to divorce. So better to humble yourself in argument, or we say you lose. In the arguments, you must have a constructive arguments. Don't just argue. You need the argument free in your marriage. Argument free. A constructive argument. Don't just argue. And you want to win. We don't have a lawyer in marriage. When you are a lawyer at your work. You are a manager at work, not at home. When you come at home, you do what God said. Woman, submit yourself. Husband, love your wife. That's what God said. Number 6, explode in anger. Explode in anger, which means you must self-control. Don't explode in anger. Answering in explode. Explosiveness is a type of intimidation. Explosiveness is a type of intimidation. If you don't want to be asked, wow, how did you do this? Why you did this? So if you explode or if you use anger, then you avoid it. Someone will say, your wife will say, I will be beaten. So don't use anger. Anger doesn't pay. Anger destroys. Anger takes away affection. So stay away from anger. If it is your wife, she will tears or waterworks tricks. Those are when you want to discuss something, she start to crying, or just it's avoiding the discussion. She's avoiding the discussion. Be very careful. Don't use tricks in your marriage. If you want your marriage to be successful, don't use tricks. Number 7, Crying, the way of manipulating the truth. Crying. When you want to, we are at dialogue, you start to cry. You know, you want your husband to leave that issue. When there's a problem, let us face the problem. Don't use tears to manipulating the truth that you are lying, as you know that it's wrong. You use tears to manipulating the truth. Don't do that. 8. Passive anger, communication killer. That's what we are talking of, anger. You see someone is fighting his wife, he beat his wife. Sometimes you beat your wife with words. Words are very dangerous. Don't fight in your marriage. It takes affection. It takes affection. And don't cause anger. Don't cause anger. Don't cause anger. Your mouth must know what to say. Your action, you must know that. Don't cause anger. Whatever you are saying, whatever you are doing, be very careful. Number 9, pay attention. Everybody, you prefer everyone, even your wife or your husband, you must pay attention. You continue to chat at WhatsApp when your husband is talking to you, when your wife is talking to you. Be very careful. Or you prefer TV, your preference to TV or newspaper. You don't pay attention. You can say, I can hear you, I can hear you, I can hear you. Pay attention. Pay attention. This is very important. Don't ignore. Don't ignore. Your wife needs attention. Your husband needs attention. Nowadays, people, they have novels in their phone. They are in groups. They've got novels in their phone. So be very careful. Be very careful with what you are doing. Your partner needs attention. If you don't pay attention, which is bad, or you might need attention, but you don't pay attention, which is bad. You might need attention. You need attention. You necessitate the attention, but you don't pay attention to your wife or to your husband. You need attention, but you don't pay, which means you must correct yourself first before you correct your husband. And be correctable. Be correctable. And number 10, God must be your priority. God must be your priority first. You must know why you are there, where you are married. Priorities. God must be your priority. Any marriage who is built by God, although Satan is fighting, but you need God in your marriage. You need God for perfection. You need God. And the second thing is, you must give your husband a priority. He must come first. Show him that is important. Show your wife that she's important. And your family, that is the priorities. Your husband, show him that he is important. And your family or your wife, show them that they are important. If you ignore this thing, it's destroying marriages. If you don't show that your husband is priority, he must come first, whatever you are doing. If you don't show him love, if you don't show him respect, which means it will destroy. It will destroy him. Number 11. Number 11. Commending your wife. Don't commend your other people's wife. They are very smart, they dress well, they cook well. You can go somewhere, then they say, why you don't cook like Mama Ningi? Why you don't cook like this? Why you don't This Mama Ningi, she's very good at cooking, which is not good. If you know that your wife doesn't know how to cook well, then you must teach her. Take her to Mama Ningi, take her to where she must learn. Take her where she must learn. So don't comment your negative to your wife in front of people, which is bad. Number 12, harboring offenses, unforgiveness spirit, harboring offenses. You must forgive each other. Forgive each other. If you are harboring offenses, you have grudges, it will take affection. Or someone who can pray with grudges, God do not hear that prayer. You don't forgive. You just say, my husband did this, my wife did this. You must forgive each other. Jesus said 7 times 70 to forgive each other. And you must be, when it is like that, it affects when you have got offenses. When you have got offenses, and forgiveness spirit, which means you now have unteachable heart. Unteachable heart. Be very careful. Be very careful. And number 13, disrespect. You say, this man does not think, he don't have wisdom, he don't have knowledge. This man or your wife, that's disrespect. Reducing each other in front of people. Shouting your wife in front of people. Shouting your husband in front of people. Gossiping him. You disrespect him. Go to your in-laws and tell him that this man is not good. Whenever they saw them, their brother-in-law, they will disrespect him. So respect, don't disrespect. So respect is very important. If you disrespect, it kills your marriage. It won't be a best marriage. Number 14, never tell your wife to shut up. Never tell your wife to shut up. She must not swallow everything. What is in her heart, she must say it out. What is in her heart. She must not swallow everything. She must not swallow everything. Never argue in front of people. Never argue in front of people. Number 15, learn to listen to each other. Learn to listen. You learn it. Learn it. Be mindful. If you don't listen to each other, that's not a marriage. So you must listen to each other. Listen to each other. So you must learn it. Learn it to listen to each other. Pay attention. You need attention. If she needs attention, you need attention. Don't report your partner to in-laws. If you don't understand God authorities, you will struggle. Don't report your partner to in-laws. Don't report your partner to in-laws, your brother, your mother. They will disrespect it. I even mention it. If you don't understand God authority, you will struggle in marriage. If you don't understand God's authority, you will struggle in your marriage. So, how is your communication? Go deeper in practicals. Focus on your behavior. Go deeper in practical. Whatever you discuss, go deeper in practicals. Focusing on your behavior. You just say your behavior is bad, your behavior is like this, your behavior is like this, which is bad. So be very careful. Be very careful. Whatever you are doing. Whatever you are doing. Whatever you are doing. So God bless you. Stay blessed. You must have a best marriage. Best marriage come with paying attention, listening, understanding each other. Tell your wife to understand you. Wherever you are not happy, you must discuss about it. Then you accept. If you hear your partner is complaining, make sure that you correct what she's complaining. Thank you so much. Stay blessed.